In the third round of the UCU West Coast Conference Men's Basketball Championships, the Pepperdine Waves defeat the San Francisco Dons 89-72. With the victory, Pepperdine moves on to the semifinal round. They'll play top seed Gonzaga on Monday at 6 p.m. on ESPN. We're joined by Pepperdine head coach Lorenzo Romar, along with student athletes Colby Ross and Eric Cooper Jr. Coach Romar, an opening statement from you on the win, please.
For marketing purposes.
Well, we can replace him. You go right ahead.
It's great news. A team that for 3 days, it happened before this, but for 3 days has really come together and have stayed together. I think that's made a big difference in how we've been able to perform. A team that believes in one another at this time of the year. Doesn't always happen. When you see it happen, you can see what's going on. We still have a long way to go in this tournament. We have a big-time opponent, as we know, the best in the country that we have to go up against next. But you talk about togetherness, it breeds resiliency and courage, and that's what our guys have had. It just seems like Jadi Smith was in foul trouble. Cameron Edwards went down. We were already without Andre Ball, and our guys didn't miss a beat in terms of their belief. And that's why we're sitting here right now with the victory.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take questions from media members. If you have one, please raise your hand and wait for us to get a mic over to you. And let us know your name and affiliation.
Lower seeds in the tournament, but you and your teammates as well just seem to get hot. What is it about this arena or this time of the year that gets it going for you personally?
I think at the end of the day, everyone just believes. As the coaching staff tells us, one game at a time. But if we compete, we have a chance to win. Doesn't matter who we play. So I think that's what we've been doing, is just believing and then playing together as a team. And then we've gotten the job done these last 3 days.
Additional questions for Pepperdine? Go to John here in the second row, and then we'll come over to Adam.
Yes, John Crumpacker, West Coast Conference Sports. For Eric, how you holding up? 3 games in 3 days?
Yeah, I'm holding up fine. Just taking it one day at a time, getting our rest at night, and sticking together, sticking to the plan. So I'm feeling fine.
Go over to Adam here on our right.
Adam Hill, Las Vegas Review-Journal. For both players, just what makes Gonzaga so good, and what is the biggest challenge they present?
Colby, you want to start with that, please?
Yes. What makes Gonzaga so good is they have, one of the best offenses in the country. They have, Rui, Clark, and then Perkins, and then Norvell. I mean, those are some really good players, and they know how to, they know what it takes to win. They're a good team, but, we're going to stick to the scout, do what we need to do to come out and compete to try to get a win.
Eric, anything to add to that?
Yeah, they're an experienced team. They got size, really skilled. They run their stuff to a T. And so that's the biggest thing with them. We have to execute our game plan against them and give us a shot to compete against them.
We'll go over to the back row, and then we'll come back to Will.
Nathan Schaup, San Francisco Chronicle. Coach Romar, you guys obviously shot the ball pretty well all year. Tonight, 14 of 28 from deep. What can you say about how you guys shot the ball?
Coaches were outside with the team. They told me before the game, they said, Coach, our guys aren't missing. Our guys are really feeling it tonight. And that carried over into the game. I thought we shared the ball, and we were able to get open shots, and we were able to knock them down. We like to hope that our team shoots the ball with a lot of confidence. We believe we can shoot it. We shoot the ball.
Will?
Will Moppin, Mid-Major Madness. This is for either of you guys. It's a largely neutral crowd out there, but over and over, lots of oohs and ahs, cheering from neutral fans. You guys play a really fun style. What's it like for you to get a neutral crowd like that sort of behind your game, even when they're not invested in you as a team?
You know, it means a lot, just knowing, you know, if we have a good play, you know, the fans are going to, you know, be excited for us. But we try not to, you know, worry about that too much. But I think it does help when we're hitting shots and the crowd is going crazy. You know, we build off of that. So I just think if we do what we need to do, you know, the crowd, you know, it won't affect us, but it will help us.
You know, if I could say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, certainly, go ahead.
You know, you don't know our team well enough to know all the intricacies and the insides and outs, but one of the things we saw tonight was Eric Cooper, Jr. over here, give us tremendous leadership in how he went out and defended and how he just played an overall really, really good game. He didn't score 30, but he left his imprint on that game, and I thought that was really special. And then the other thing, in the West Coast Conference, we didn't finish real well. A lot of our games weren't on national television. But I think now we've been able to watch it for 3 nights. Our team has seen it all year, what a competitor Colby Ross is. And you talk about guards on the West Coast.
Kevin O'Brien, KSCU. Sorry for trying to sneak in there. But, Coach, obviously you guys have won 3 games in the last 3 nights, and on Monday you're going to see a team that will have gone 9 days without playing any games. What effect, if any, do you think that discrepancy will have on the game on Monday night?
I don't know what impact it'll have on the game, but I can tell you it won't have any impact on Gonzaga. This isn't their first rodeo. This is the situation they face every year. They've won the conference a billion times. They've been in this. Their whole season is geared toward this. And so them being off, they know exactly what to do. They've been before it. They knew how many days they were going to get off. They know how many hours they were going to practice. They knew what to work on to prepare themselves to be here. So it won't affect them one bit.
Go to Adam.
Just to follow up, what does make them so good, and why are they such a good team this year? And is this the best Gonzaga team that you've seen?
Yeah, I think it's the most versatile Gonzaga team. They guard better than people might think. And a lot of that has to do with their bigs. Clark and Rui, those guys are so versatile. They can switch onto guards. They can guard guards like they're guards. They're strong. They have rim protector in Clark. They have really good size. When you go out on the floor against them, you're talking about 6'3", you're talking about 6'7", you're talking about 6'8", 6'9". I mean, they have great size. So again, they really can pack it in on you. They can guard the ball screen. They can protect the rim. And then on the other end of the floor, like Colby was saying, they're just so dangerous. There's not a guy on that floor that can't go get 20 points in a game. When you have 5 guys out on the floor that play like that, you're talking about a buzzsaw, a potential buzzsaw. That's what I see.
Last question here, John.
Lorenzo, are you going to give your guys a day off tomorrow?
Well, we don't play, so.
I mean, what's the plan for trying to get as much rest with your guys?
We, you know, three games in 3 days, we definitely are going to rest. We'll go out to the gym. We'll get out on the floor and go through some things, but it will be a day for players to kind of lick the wounds that have been accumulated in 3 nights and kind of relax and get refocused and get prepared for Monday.
Congratulations. We'll see you Monday night.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks, Crook. Doctor, we got steps over here. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Joining us from the University of San Francisco, head coach Kyle Smith, along with student athlete Charles Minland. Coach Smith, an opening statement from you on the game, please.
I thought we got momentum is a real thing we talk about all the time, and Pepperdine has been playing well. Obviously, came from behind 2 games, and really confident group right now. And they kind of came out, hit a few, I don't know what they were, from 3 pretty early on, and kind of dug us a little hole, and we bounced back. And then they just were persistent and made a lot of plays offensively, played small, and really put us in some compromising positions. And we're not used to playing from behind like that, and no one likes to do that. But they stayed with it, and they, sometimes you had to. They played really well.
Thank you. We'll take questions from media members. If you have one, please raise your hand and wait for us to get a microphone over to you. And let us know your name and affiliation before you ask your questions. We'll start with John here in the second row.
John Krempecker, West Coast Conference Sports for Charles. At what point in the game did you really feel it start to get away from you after a pretty decent start to the game? But what point did you have doubts?
I'm not sure there was a point. I think there was, when it got down to like 3 minutes left, and then we were down like 18 down 18 with like 3 minutes. It's pretty hard to come back. You have to have a lot of things go your way and a lot of things not go their way. And they were making shots, and they had momentum, like Coach was saying at the time. So that we just wanted to turn them over as much as possible and see if we could get some shots to go in, but it didn't work that way. But that's what happened.
Spencer.
Spencer McLaughlin, KSU for Charles. You didn't have your best night from the floor. What did you feel Pepperdine was doing defensively to keep you and Frankie in check as well?
I don't know. I think more so it's taking a look at myself. Sometimes I don't know if it's the conditioning or legs, but a lot of shots fell short. So I have to take a look at what I've been doing and make sure that I'm more prepared next time I'm in that situation.
Come over here in the back. Thank you.
Nathan Schaub, San Francisco Chronicle. This is for Coach. You guys, mid-January, you guys were sitting at 14-2. You had Gonzaga on the ropes. It was looking like a really fun season for you guys. Sitting here now, you lose 4 straight to close out the season. We'll see what happens next week. I mean, what are your kind of thoughts on the last couple weeks and where you guys are?
I think it's a process on in being, that story is a great story as far as putting ourselves in that position. We had a good veteran group that did a great job for us to get us that position. And there's a coaching programs as an assistant where you have to win every game. And and it's hard. It's really hard, and you got to go through it. Where, I mean, like I said, my 10-year-old son will tell me what our net rating is, and that's banned in our household. But it's reality, and with the social media and that, and there's and we played tight games a whole year, and I just think it caught up to us a little bit. We just weren't the same defensively. The month of February, we had the 6 out of 8 on the road, and I thought I'm proud of our guys, and they got to go through that. But disappointed, obviously, the way we finished. But then to play with that kind of pressure is foreign to us, and we'll learn from.
Coach, can you talk about the story of Frankie coming back and kind of helping the program, and now the career that he's had for you guys, kind of not coming to an end, but here this week?
No, it's been often spoken of, and it could have worked out better. We finished better, but just when was offered the job and the opportunity he was out there, and obviously the story's known he was enrolled in junior college, not playing, driving Uber. A couple guys left in the transition, and I just think it's such a great program with great history. And this guy was a ball boy from the area, from the peninsula, from Burlingame, grew up working USF games. He's a WCC guy, Italian American. I like to throw that in there too, and just be able to lead our program and get it back to, we're the 3 straight 20-win seasons. He had a lot to do with that, and so the other guys in that locker room, and with Nate being a Renfro's unsung hero. From day one, he just said, "Hey, coach, whatever you need." And our culture got really, I put our culture up against anyone as far as attitude, work ethic, enjoying each other's company, going to class, being true student athletes. But that's not, they don't give you wins for that. But I do think smart wins, I think that's good. And Frankie had a lot to do with that. So really thankful he came back.
Any other questions for San Francisco? John?
Yeah, Kyle, do you at this point expect an NIT bid? Is that reasonable for your group?
I would hope so. Obviously, we would love any opportunity. I think there's enough time for us to get recharged and do that, but that's not up to me. But we will shoot. The program's going to continue. We got good young guys. We're going to work at it and get back to it, and hopefully, like I said, there's some growth here. You got to own it. You got to wear it, and we're going to get back to work. I mean, I think credit to Pepperdine. They were down 12 to Pacific in the first round. They just they got it going, and San Diego could have easily came out to this tournament and finished 7th, and they're playing really good basketball. So. These kids are young. There's a lot of emotions, and I think I'd be lying to say if our spirit probably got a little broken, the San Diego game at home, and we just haven't been able to recover. And believe me, we're doing everything we can to try to right the ship. And like I said, some of it's that, and some Pepperdine played pretty darn good. They banged a lot of shots. They're good. They shot the ball well all year in league, and they cause a matchup problem because. Jimbo really didn't have anyone to guard for them. It's hard. It's really hard for him to play man-to-man, so we played zone, and that caused some problems too.
Thanks. Good luck in the postseason.
Thanks, Jeff.
Appreciate it. You got it? Yep. Just watch your step. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Nice work.